Alright guys, today's episode I'm going to make the boxes for the Holley EFI. This is the 12.3, so this is the biggest one that they currently make. Couple of little mentions, you know, we've got the GPS, we've got two USB-C ports, our power, as well as a port on the side. So what I'm going to do is basically flush this up with sheet metal all the way up to here, so just barely any of this lip sits out of the dash. Holley provided us with a template to flush mount it. So I went ahead and cut that out because I'm going to trace this on steel, and this just basically has my measurements. I don't really need that. That's if I was going to CNC cut it, but I'm going to cut it on the shear. So I already razor blade cut out the template that I'm going to use, and I'll go ahead and transfer this to steel. I'm going to grab that real quick. So that's our piece of steel that we're going to use. So basically I'll transfer this template. I'm going to cut out all the holes. There is 6 mounting holes that use 1/4 screws. This is for the big power port on the back. These are for the USB-Cs. And then this is for the GPS signal. I am going to add 1 inch to each side of this so that I can bend it on my finger brake. And what that'll do is create a recessed section in this, so everything can still mount to the back to secure it to the dash. It'll have the holes for all the ports and all the connections that we need. And then I'll bend it up and then I'll weld it together, blend it all out, be nice and smooth. Then, so that I'm not using like an $1,800 screen, I can use the box to kind of set up how I'm going to do the dash. So yeah, I'm going to start working on getting this drawn out, add the 1 inch extensions, the flanges that I need, and then I'll go ahead and cut it out on shear and get it all bent up. Alright, so real quick what I did here, guys, I was looking for the easiest way to plot out the holes without having to cut up the template and everything. So what I did is basically I marked out, this is the original size of the box, all this is the 1 inch flange, and then everywhere you see these punches are where the holes are going to be. And I can obviously use the template to gauge the size. All the outer holes are the same. They are 5/16 holes, so it's just a little oversized for a 1/4 screw. This hole is 2 3/4, which will go on the hole saw. This one is 1 1/4. This is a 1/2 inch hole, another 1/2 inch hole here. So once I get this cut out on the shear, I can go ahead and drill these holes and clean them up with a deburr bit or a deburr tool. Just get them nice and clean, and then I'll go ahead and cut out with the grinder these corners so that way I can bend this up on the box and pan brake. So just wanted to give you a quick explanation of why I did that. It was a lot easier than obviously having to try and razor blade out these tiny holes or drill them out with a drill and risk cutting up the template if I needed it. So I'm gonna go ahead and shear it up. I gotta clean up the shear and then get back in action. Alrighty, so a little problem we've encountered, quick solution to it, kind of used to it. Since I don't have the time to wait around for this to get CNC plasma cut or laser cut, I'm obviously making it myself. The problem is this hole needs to be 1 1/4 inches, this hole needs to be 2 3/4 inches. And I was like, oh, I'll just hole saw it. Well, the problem with hole sawing it is the biggest hole saw I have is a 2 1/2 inch, and the closest to the 1 1/4 is 1 1/8, which means that both of these are going to be undersized. I guess they could be oversized, wouldn't be a problem. They're already going to look a little out of place because it's a round hole and the back of these ports are square, so like a rounded square. So what I may do, unfortunately, the biggest hole is going to be small. But what I'll probably end up doing is if I have a 1 1/2, I'm just going to do the other hole at 1 1/2. That'll give me a little bit of extra clearance. I'm not too close to the other holes, and I definitely have the space there for that. So I will go ahead and get those knocked out. And so to fix this issue, this slight issue that I have here, is what I'll do is drill this one at 2 1/2. And then I'll take my saw, my airflow, and I'll just get closer to that line, and then I'll come back through with a drum roll on a die grinder, and I'll just get that nice and perfect, and then hit it with the deburr. Once I figure out where that is, it's somewhere in the shop, and yeah, I'll find that here shortly, because I do need that. I use it quite often. So, and I actually did find it. Check this out. Right underneath the cart where I last used it. So, another cool tool. This is the deburr tool. You can probably get them at Ace Hardware. I got these at McFadden's, a local hardware supply. And all they do is you stick them in a hole and just run them around. And what that does is it gets all of the excess from the drill, from the previous size drill that you used. It just gets all that junk off, the little burrs that are on the ends. A quick option if you don't have one of these, don't feel like spending a couple bucks, is just use like I used my Unibit. You can go to your size on your Unibit, flip the piece over where you have all the slag, and just tap it with the size, the same size that you went through on the other side. And what that'll do is it'll get a lot of that stuff off. So super easy fix to that. As you guys can tell, the holes look good, they're nice and clean. Again, I'll DA this once I'm done, right before I bend it, and then it'll be perfect. So I'll go ahead and get those knocked out right now. I need to find my tap, my tap lube, tap magic, whatever it's called. And then, yeah, and actually, I think I might have just found my 1 1/4. No, negative. That's a 1 3/8. But I do need that top piece anyway, so this works out perfect. Would have been searching for that. There's a couple of pieces stuck in there I gotta get out. So yeah, back on time lapse. I'll get these knocked out real quick and I'll be right back. Alright, so just like that, we're done, at least with the sizing. Now you can kind of see what I'm saying about the burrs on the backside and just using the deburr tool. Obviously when you've got a bigger hole like this, the unibit isn't really going to work for what you need it to do for deburring the backside. So you just take this and then just literally run it around. And it'll clean it right up. There's obviously still some I need to do, but and then as far as being undersized, you can see how close we are to the line now. So I just need to go ahead and take a little bit of the die grinder, clean that up, get that rounded out again, and we'll be set. And then this piece will be ready to get bent. So go ahead and work that out real quick. All right, guys, we're back today. I'm going to go ahead and finish up the Holley 12.3 dash screen flush mount. So I just got to weld up the corners and then blend them down. And I think I'm going to take a little more out of the side here because there is just a tiny bit of adjustment we can make in here. And I want this just a little bit more gap. There's a port that's on the side for the Holley EFI. So yeah, I'll get it all welded up, blended up, and then we can use it as the template for the rest of the dash fabrication, because what I don't want to be doing is taking that dash in and out. It is like a $2,300 part and it is a finished product, so that's kind of like your attention to detail kind of things. I don't want to be, putting any scratches in it and none of that stuff. So this will serve as my template to go ahead and do the rest of the fabrication where the cluster is going to go and all the other stuff that I need to do. So I'm going to get it welded up and I'll be back with you guys. Alright guys, so now we're all welded and blended up. I gave it a nice little DA. It's going to get painted and there'll be a couple more scratches, so it'll have to get DA'd again, but there's our fitment, our side port. Pretty legit, guys. All the holes in the back line up. There we are. And you guys, this is the Holley 12.3 dash. I will end up putting these into production. I will work on getting the other sizes. I think there's a 10.7 or something like that, and then like a 6.8 screen. So I will work on those. Give me some time, guys. I obviously don't have somebody that's got the smaller screens, so I kind of got to do what I can. But if I can find them, I will make templates for them, and I will get them out to you guys soon. So.